Rise and shine with global entertainment news morning buzz. I am your host Bella, ready to kickstart your day with all the fresh news and stories. And right here with me, bring his own spark to the studio is.
Student.
Let's dive into today's headline, fresh from the Punch and Vanguard newspaper. Top story from the Punch: Anambra, Edo, Oyo, nine ordered to vote in August by election. The Independent National Electoral Commission has scheduled a series of by-elections for Saturday, August 16, 2025, to fill vacant seats in the national and state assemblies across 12 states. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakub made the announcement during a meeting with political party leaders in Abuja on Thursday. He says the vacancy across from registration, death, and court order eliminates. Those elections will take place in 16 constituencies involving two senatorial districts, five federal constituencies, and nine state assembly seats, Yakubu said. The affected constituencies include Anambra South, Edo Central Senatorial District, Ovia South, West Ovia Southeast, Edo, Babura, Gaki, Jigawa, Chukun, Kajuru, Kaduna, Ikenne, Shagamu, Remo, North Ogun, and Ibadan, North Oyo Federal Constituency. The nine state assembly seats are Ganye, Adamawa, Onisha, North 1, Anambra, Dekina, Akura, Kogi, Zaria, Kenya, and Basawa, Kaduna, Bag, Bagwire, and Sanuno, Kano, Mariga, Niger, Karim, Lamide, 1, Taraba, and Kaure, Namudia, South, Zamfara.
Well, I see this as a way for the INEC to me, I see it as an illustration for them to be prepared for 2027
Election.
election. I think this is actually coming late to me from the INEC because I think these positions have been vacant for over 3 months. If I'm not mistaken, over 3 months, I guess, and it's something they should have done a long time ago to to avoid this kind of vacancy in most of this part of the country. Because if those places are vacant now, who is actually leading that place is what we don't understand. And this alone will cause poor leadership around so many districts. And talking about the INEC has not even actually come out to say anything about the July, I think July 12th or July 11th, local government election that's coming up very soon. And it's something they really need to get ready for because it's from the local area we move to the federal. If you've not served the local, you've not served your state, you can't actually think of going
To the
to
federal.
the federal. So I think it's something they really need to work into. And if these elections to be held in August is not actually secure the way we expect it, definitely if you can't secure just ordinary district election and sectorial elections, talk less of 2027 election coming up very soon. No wonder what we're going to see.
Well, I feel like this position they are talking about, they actually left it for this long because they have a purpose of filling it up with those that they expected that is going to support the 2027 election that is coming up. So bringing it out now is not as if that they just wanted to say that whoever that is interested, but they already have those that they wanted to fill in there. So they are just saying it for us to know that it's going to be filled very soon. So it's not as if it's vacant to just anybody on the streets. Well, let's move on. Man faced life imprisonment for killing 14-year-old British Nigerian. A Spanish British Marcos Monzo is facing a life sentence for killing a 14-year-old British Nigerian schoolboy Daniel Anjorin in London. The jury at the jury at London Central Criminal Court convicted Manzo on Wednesday of murder, 3 counts of attempted murder, 1 count of grievously bodily harm, aggravated burglary, and possession of a blade article. Manzo, 37, wanted to kill as many people as he could in the spate of discriminate attack lasting 20 minutes in Hanassot, northeast London on April 30th last year. The old ballet head. Injuring life was snuffed out in an instant when Manzo crept up behind him and delivered a devastating and unsurvivable blow to the side of his face and neck. Witness described Manzo dropping to the knees with both arms raised while screaming in delight at the senseless slaughter.
Well, I think this is actually it is a sad news to hear when it comes to losing a life, especially a young life, as a 14-year-old life it's actually very it's not something we should take lightly like that. And I think and I'm not even thinking anymore. I expect the London administration to actually take this very serious because you can't it's a British Nigerian born, definitely is also a citizen of the
British.
British, so we expect them to not take this lightly, I tell you. And the offender itself, Monzo, I think he actually is going to face a lot when it comes to that 3 count charge alone. And I expect London to actually even take a swift action to this already.
Well, they have already taken a swift action. What I notice about this person that this person might have a mental problem because what it's read here is like this person have it in mind to to kill as many as he wanted to kill, and then we have had a lot of all this in when it comes to this European country and all that, and then a whole lot of people going around with so many delight in their hearts of putting pain and harm into other people, and then they find it as something that is entertaining to them. And I kudos to the British court for actually putting him on a life imprisonment because if he was released, more is going to be happening. Well, let's move on. Gombe auto crash claim policeman, 7 others. A senior police officer and 7 other passengers have lost their life in auto crash on the Gombe corridor of the Gombe-Yola Federal Highway. Punch Metro learned from the State Police Command on Thursday that the incident occurred on Wednesday afternoon, while the police confirmed to Punch Metro that the circumstances surrounding the incident were being investigated. The spokesperson from the command, Buhari Abdullahi, says the officer was heading to Nasarawa State before the crash. Abdullahi says there was an accident that claimed the life of 8 individuals, including a very senior police officer. He was a superintendent of police and was traveling from Adamawa State to Nasarawa State. The cops have yet to arrive in Gombe right now. The remains have been deposited in Adamawa State. The investigation have been carried out. According to Zaga Zola, a security analyst and counter-insurgency insurgency news site, the bus conveying 18 passengers from Yola to Gombe suffered a rear tire burst near Kalua village.
Well, I know I always want to emphasize about the high risks most of our drivers take when coming to an highway or traveling a long distance. And most of these things are, to me, they are mechanical issues. It's not about the road safety again. It's not about how you use the road. It's how you manage and how you use your mechanical things. Usually the a car can actually develop faults anytime it wants to. A car is just like it's just like a horse. While riding and riding and riding, get to a stage, it will get tired out. It won't want to move again. When it needs water or it needs something. So I think most of these drivers need to understand the fact that they need to start warming, probably warning, checking a lot in the cars first. This incident now, eyewitness that came out to say it's a tire burst. Probably the tire was not actually checked where, or something actually punctured the tire on the way, and it gets to a particular place, it went off. And if a tire should burst on a very high speed like that, it can cause anything. It can disable the wheel of the driver, taking the driver to another instance. And if the driver is not more experienced and panics a lot, I tell you, the driver will not be able to control. You can't even just as if you are riding a bike and you go to a stage, your tire does burst. I tell you, you will not be able to control your hand again. It can take you to any limit. So I think these are one of the things we drivers and road users need to understand and learn from this kind of incident to avert or avoid things like that again?
Well, I would say that having a road crash this time around in Nigeria has been very common. We read one yesterday claiming another life, and today again. And I feels like let me put it in this way: that those that actually wanted to be driving have actually forgotten the fact that everything that you are needing need a proper check. It's not when it's already getting tired or getting out of hand. That is when you are looking for someone that can just manage a brain pulse or manage a coil in the or manage one thing or the other. We in Nigeria, we tend to overuse something until we see that this thing is already breaking down. That is when we feels like we wanted to do it. So this thing has been common in Nigeria. If you see some motos, some buses, you'll be scared of your life even before you can board it. The way it's being jargons and all that. You can even see somehow wires poking out from where you are sitting down. So it's really scary. Well, let's move on. Federal Capital Territory worker mobilized for protest over poor welfare. Other grievances include non-domestic and of IPPIS, inaccessibility of the salary portal to salary desk officer, no overhead since December 2024, NHF deduction, non-payment of 5 months wage award, health and worker hazard allowance arrears, non-training and retraining of FCTA staff out of the school FCTA primary school pupil, and non-payment of AEBP enforcement squad. Recall that the FCT teachers had also been on strike since April over non-implementation of 70,000 minimum wage, among other requests.
Well, it's this actually I actually see it funny, but in as much it's not that funny, but I still wonder why our government will actually look at staffs working under them to build a nation, to build without all these staff, without these people working for the government, I tell you, the government will not get to where it is today. And those people on that high table actually sitting and making these rules, the money they are saving from us will not be coming into their pocket if these people are not actually working diligently. And seeing these people working their ass off, working everything up for them to get to that uh, for things to be working perfectly, and you are now owing them salary for months. And I think it's very, very, very bad and sad to be hearing this at this century of time where Nigeria is. It's very hard for you to hear things like this in the Western Union, where in Western countries. It's a long, we don't even hear that again. That a particular place in probably let me use UK as an example. A particular place in UK, they are on strike due to salary payment or something. Most countries outside now, they won't pay before the due day of salary. Some companies have even make it more important that they pay their staff two weeks before to avoid box and payment like that. So I think our country, we really need to focus on this kind of thing. We see here cases of us health sector coming out to strike. We hear cases of teachers striking. We hear cases of universities striking at this time. Where
Yeah, no. It's really sad for me, Nigerian, especially the leaders. It's a shame for us, for the leaders, but I feels like that does not concern them because their salary is being paid every time, so they don't have any feelings for that. Because while their children is away in the Western and the European country, we are here suffering for it, and then still asking for a change that will never come. On today's top story from the Vanguard: six killed as IED explode in Imo market. Six-person has been killed by an explosion caused by an improves explosive device IED planted at Eke Ubahene Market, Awo Idemili, Osun local government area of Imo State. The incident, Vanguard gathered, that has generated confusion and anxiety in Ubaheze and its adjoining committee as news of the bomb planted in the market by unknown person spread like wildfire. It was also gathered that the explosion occurred immediately. A middle-aged woman identified as Ngozi Ome unknowingly stepped on the IED. Multiple sources in the village said six persons died in the explosion, while many others were injured reacting. However, to the incident, Imo Police Command image maker Mr. Harry Okoye says investigation into the market explosion has commenced.
I think this is actually it's a sad news. When it comes to death and everything, it's definitely going to be a sad news. And this, I think this happened yesterday in Imo State market, and it's very sad for us to start hearing things like this when it comes to IED explosion, improvised explosive device. It's very sad because in a place where people are gathering for their coming outside for their daily life to make profit to feed their family, and they go home and hear that probably and there was an explosion in the market, and your mother is involved, your father is involved. You know how painful the family is going to be and how depressed they are going to be. Most of these people in the market are breadwinners to their family, and it's very sad. I think the government, the anti-bomb squad really need to come into this is where the anti-bomb squad needs to come in. Let's know what actually caused this explosion in the market, and to see more reasons why to abort or avoid more cases like this from happening.
Exactly. Well, let's move on. Drug abuse worsening insecurity. Tinubu Mawa. President Bola Tinubu yesterday says that drug abuse was worsening insecurity in the country, warning against its devastating impact on public health and development. The president spoke as chairman of National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA). Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Mawa stated that percent of terrorism, kidnapping, and other violent acts in the country were linked to drug abuse. Tinubu, who raised the alarm during the World Drug Day 2025 with the theme "The Evidence is Clear: Investment in Prevention in Both Timely and Urgent" at the Presidential Valley, Abuja, described the drug epidemic as one of the most urgent challenges of the era, stressing that no country was immune to its far-reaching consequences. Consequently, he sought coordination of both national and global action against the crisis. President Tinubu, who was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, Senator George Akume, warned that drug abuse destroyed lives, tears families apart, and fueled insecurity, he said.
Well, I see our president as someone that has actually forgotten so many things happening in this country. Well, for the president to have in this saying that the the
Drug
the
abuse.
drug abuse is one of the reasons why we're having insecurity. I don't think that's an excuse to so many what is really going on in this country. We see cases of people going into market, destroying communities. Are we saying those people destroying communities is an effect of drug abuse? Are we saying those that pick people from the road, kidnap them, extort from them before kidnapping them is an effect of drug abuse? I think I think our president just comes out, the way I see things just comes out due to the pressure of what is happening in society, comes out, just drop his speech, go back to his room, sleep. But I think this administration is actually not doing what we actually
Expected.
expected from them, and it's very poor to me. I think this is one of the poorest administration I've ever seen um, growing up as a citizen of this country. It's the worst administration I've ever seen.
Exactly. Everybody has actually talked about the administration, and then to him, there are still people that are actually saying that this president's administration is actually the best of it that they have never had. And I feel like those people are just those that are actually benefiting from it. They are not saying the truth. Let's move on. Police rescue 46 traffic victim from Ghana to Nigeria. The Nigerian Police Force, through Interpol National Central Bureau (NCB) Abuja, in fight against transactional crime, has rescued four traffic victims and arrested seven suspects involved in cross-border criminal activity. First, First Public Relations Officer Mr. Muiwa Adejobi, who made the known yesterday, described the operation as significant breakthrough. He says in a coordinated operation based on message received from the Interpol NCB, Accra operative of Interpol NCB have successfully rescued 31 victims who have been trafficked from Ghana to Nigeria under the false pretense of securing employment opportunity in Europe.
Well, kudos to Interpol for that intel. Well, I think this is something that has been going on a long time. It's one of the moving illegal business being done all over the world. Trafficking, human trafficking, drug trafficking, anything trafficking is actually one of the leading illegal business being done around the world. And I think this moving, I don't know why people tend to always believe that the dangerous illegal way of surviving in this um, country is actually the best way to move on. And probably because our security is not actually strong, database is bad, we don't have a very good database, we don't have surveillance everywhere. So everybody believe that. I tell you, if someone actually says you want to hide in this country, I tell you, you can hide in this country for more than 20 years, 30 years. The government will not know where you are. Because if you don't have a very good database everywhere in this country, definitely you can't go to Europe, somewhere like Paris now. You commit a crime and say you want to be in that same country. Definitely you'll be caught. There's nothing you do that you'll not be caught. But here in this country, that's why it takes time for this kind of thing to happen, except there's an intel or somebody that probably said, okay, I saw this, let me go and report this before these cases like this can be seen outside.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's move on. Ondo village head arrested for alleged rape of a minor. Akure police detective in Ondo State have arrested a village head of Lagba community, Ondo East local government area of Ondo State, Chief Adeneye Ifedayo, for allegedly raping of a 12-year-old girl. Vanguard learned that the detective at the state area command who effected the arrest alleged that the suspect lured the victim to his house, camped her for weeks, and harassed her sexually. Narrating her ordeal, the victim, who is hospitalized, says she was lured to the suspect's house by a commercial motorcycle rider. According to her, the valet kept me in his house for 2 weeks and feed me with pap while he assaulted me sexually on a daily basis. My parents became worried about my whereabouts and eventually raised an alarm, declaring me missing. After 2 weeks, the ballet took me on a motorcycle and dumped me at a location in Akure, the Ondo state capital.
Well, so this is very, very bad and sad. I can't believe why someone that you're actually placed in a kind of
A
a
position.
position where people respect you, give you that order, give you that well spoken address, well spoken awareness to do things, and you come outside, you believe that okay, you using that your position to abuse people is the best way. Probably there are this kind of cases. I tell you, I think this most cases like this about minors are actually very, very deep for people to really understand, because we can see it in a two different way what's really happening. I think this issue really needs to be investigated more. We should know the reason why this ballet actually camps her for I think
A
a
week.
week, because there can be two reasons to it. Most of all these ballets, all these traditional rulers, they're actually very, very fetish to so many things. So they really need to check the girl again to really know if there's anything missing in her body, probably being used for something. It's not about you camping someone for 1 week. Definitely he has a wife, he has all the other children. So there'll be a reason why you should camp that girl for a week and be assaulting her on daily basis. Definitely there's something being being being
Done.
done to her, or probably it's a ritual to me, because there are so many ways you can see things. So I think that more investigation really needs to go on if it's only an assault or probably
There's other
other thing involved
things.
into it.
I feel like this is not the first time that this man has been doing it, because for him to actually have the mind and then just decided to pick up a minor and kept in his house for uh, a whole week, then it's not the first time. He has been going scot free for a long time, and then now the law has caught up with him. Well, we have come to the end of today's show. Thank you for joining us on the Breakfast Show. I have been your host, Bella. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, have a blessed and lovely day. Bye.